This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, late-game nerves test TNT's resolve as they hold off Macau in the PBA Commissioner's Cup thriller. Alyssa Valdez reflects on purpose and passion after leading the Creamline Cool Smashers back to the top of the Premier Volleyball League. Filipina tennis ace Alex Eala shows grit but falls short once more as she suffers a stinging defeat to world number 21 Elise Mertens of Belgium in the Madrid Open. A golden leap by Leonard Grospe powers the Philippines to a strong early surge in the Asian Beach Games. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 24th of April. Now, here's our roundup brought to you by the Philippine Sports Commission, the Philippine Olympic Committee, and the NSD-IAC. A championship and a personal statement from Alyssa Valdez. As Creamline returned to the top, their leader proved she still has more to give. Here are the details from our sports correspondent, Zeus Valdez.
Alyssa Valdez delivered both a championship and a personal statement as the Creamline Cool Smashers returned to the top of the PBL. For Valdez, the title run went beyond winning as it became a reflection of her continued drive at this stage of her career.
I just really want to enjoy playing volleyball. At this point in my career, I want to prove not to other people but to myself that I'm here because I still want it and I still have it.
Creamline's campaign was far from smooth, dealing with inconsistency, injuries, and a demanding final series against the Cignal Super Spikers. The Cool Smashers were pushed to a deciding match and even trailed early in the fifth set before relying on experience and composure to close out the championship. Valdez said maturity was a key factor in navigating those moments, with the team leaning on its veteran core to make the right adjustments throughout the conference.
Yung Creamline ngayon, I would say season talaga. Kasi throughout the conference, ang daming struggles as in. Pero because we're all veterans then, I think napag-usapan din talaga ng mabuti kung ano yung mga kailangan gawin.
She also emphasized that their finals preparation extended beyond game day, pointing to the work done in practice as a foundation for their success.
Yung finals namin hindi lang dito sa court, sa Araneta. It started in our practice. So lahat talaga nagtrabaho.
The turning point came in the deciding match, where Creamline outlasted Cignal in 5 sets, trailing 6-8 in the final set. The Cool Smashers regrouped and executed down the stretch, highlighted by key plays from Tots Carlos to seal the win. For Valdez, the finish highlighted what the team had built throughout the conference, a group that can adjust, stay composed under pressure, and deliver in crucial moments. At the same time, it reinforced her personal belief that she remains capable of performing at a high level while continuing to enjoy the game. Reporting for the Scorecard, I am Zeus Valdez, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
It ended in heartbreak but also marked a breakthrough for Vanny Gandler and the Cignal HD Spikers. Cignal fell short in a 5-set finals loss to the Creamline Cool Smashers, but their return to the championship stage after 2 years signals a team on the rise.
I saw so much growth, so much maturity, and I think that's what's important. The experience, now we know what we need to work on. So we're just going to use that to motivate us.
Gandler led that resurgence, guiding Cignal through a competitive run that pushed one of the league's most dominant teams to the limit. She also capped her season with a major milestone, winning MVP of the All-Filipino Conference. For Gandler, the loss offers clarity and motivation. The gap between contender and champion is now clear, and for Cignal, so is the next step. With Gandler at the center, the focus now shifts from returning to finishing. Facing familiar do-or-die pressure, ang Poyos and the University of Santo Tomas Golden Tigresses are once again fighting to keep their season alive. UST absorbed a heartbreaking reverse sweep defeat to National University Wednesday at the Smart Araneta Coliseum, sliding into a sudden death playoff for the last Final Four spot in the UAAP Season 88 Women's Volleyball Tournament. They now face Far Eastern University, who also pulled off a reverse sweep to stay alive. Poyos led UST with 24 points but admitted costly miscommunication down the stretch, especially at a crucial 13-all in the fifth set. Despite the loss, the sophomore star says the Tigresses must move on quickly and give everything in Saturday's do-or-die clash with a Final Four berth on the line. The TNT Tropang 5G bounced back, holding off the Macau Black Knights 119-112. TNT held a slim lead late, but clutch free throws from Jordan Heading sealed the win, going a perfect 6 for 6 in the final seconds. Import Bol led the way with a dominant double-double, 37 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 blocks. Heading added 20 points, while Brandon Ganuelas-Rosser and Calvin Oftana chipped in 17 and 16.
Yeah, there is no secret that Brandon's a big part of our game. He's normally our indicator. If he's playing well, if he has a healthy plus-minus differential, then normally, well, most of the time, our team wins. So you saw that today because of all the attention, the gravity on ball, and our guards, our shooters like Calvin and Jordan. Brandon really gets a lot of opportunities.
Macau kept it close behind, 31 points from Phoenix Shackleford, but TNT executed down the stretch to improve to 6-3. Meanwhile, the Barangay Ginebra San Miguel outlasted the Blackwater Bossing 115-108 in a hard-fought Commissioner's Cup clash at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. The Philippines is off to a strong start in the Asian Beach Games, with Leonard Grospe capturing the country's second gold medal in men's high jump. Grospe cleared 2.05 meters on his first attempt to secure the win via countback over Chinese Taipei and China. The victory lifts the Philippines to 2 gold medals in just 2 days, matching its 2016 output and placing third overall behind the United Arab Emirates and host China. Earlier, Alexandra Luz Enriquez struck gold in Jiu-Jitsu, while Kyla Napoles added a bronze. Philippine beach volleyball teams also remain unbeaten, highlighting a strong early campaign for Team Philippines. Meantime, this just in, Philippine Jiu-Jitsu star Annie Ramirez continues her dominance, securing the third gold for the Philippines in the women's 57-kilogram division at the Asian Beach Games. Filipina tennis standout Alex Eala exited the Madrid Open, falling in straight sets to Elise Mertens 6-2, 6-1. Mertens controlled the match from start to finish, dominating on serve and taking advantage of breakpoint opportunities. Eala struggled to find rhythm, unable to convert her serves into holds despite a high first serve percentage. The Belgian's consistency and control in rallies proved too much as she closed out the match in just over an hour. Eala, however, remains in contention in doubles, where she will team up with Zeynep Sonmas. The Philippines is ramping up its campaign for the Esports Nations Cup 2026, naming national team coaches across multiple titles ahead of roster formation. Leading the charge in Mobile Legends Bang Bang is two-time world champion Francis Ducky Glindro, while Gerald TG Helasio takes over for Honor of Kings. Jose Carlo RBTX Jamir will join Valorant, with Joseph JL Brazal handling Dota 2 and Ralph Andre Leathergoods Liabresas assigned to League of Legends. Ryan Forthrow Canlas completes the lineup for PUBG Mobile. Team submissions are due May 10 as the Philippines eyes a strong showing in the Riyadh-based global tournament set for November. Iran's national team will still be welcomed at the FIFA World Cup, according to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Speaking at the White House, Rubio clarified that no U.S. official has barred Iranian athletes from entering the country, despite speculation that Italy could replace Iran in the tournament. However, he noted that some members of Iran's delegation could face restrictions if they are linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The proposal to insert Italy into the World Cup was quickly rejected by Italian officials who insisted that qualification must be earned on the pitch. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has also confirmed Iran will compete as scheduled. Clutch moments once again for CJ McCollum, lifting the Atlanta Hawks to a 109-108 win over the New York Knicks. McCollum scored 23 points, including the game-winning fadeaway with 12.7 seconds left to give Atlanta a 2-1 series lead. The Knicks fought back from a double-digit deficit, taking the lead late behind Jalen Brunson, but failed to close it out. Atlanta responded in the final possession, executing a set play that freed McCollum for the decisive shot. The Hawks also came up with a defensive stop in the final seconds to seal the win. Game 4 is set in Atlanta, with the Hawks looking to extend their advantage. Meanwhile, here are the results for today's playoff games. Up next, despite Ball's monster numbers, TNT's results haven't fully followed, which begs the question, how can the team balance its dominance with greater involvement from its local core to avoid over-reliance and achieve consistent success? Basketball analyst Jay Mercado will join us later to discuss Ball Manute Ball's future in the PBA when we return, only here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. Ball is putting up huge numbers, but it seems TNT isn't quite reaping the rewards. Now, the lingering question, how can they balance his dominance while getting more from their local core? Joining us to discuss this matter is basketball analyst Jay Mercado. Jay, good evening and welcome back to the show.
Good evening, Anton.
So this 5-3 record of TNT with Ball in the lineup, would you say this is a success or this is below the expectations that people have dito sa kupunan ni Coach Shot Reyes because of the caliber of player that Ball is?
Anton, I think they're 6-3 right now.
Okay, they just won. Yes, that's right.
That's right. Alam naman natin, they were installed favorites at the start of the conference simply because of Ball, no? We have to look at it this way, no? Ball's playing very well. He's averaging 38 and 14, and perhaps is the greatest 7-foot import who has ever played in the PBA, bar none. Okay, we've had at least 24 7-footers who have played in the PBA, and Ball stands out among everybody else. Now, ang problema lang siguro, I guess, is that medyo inconsistent ang TNT. They're getting the numbers from Ball. But other than their dominant win against San Miguel, which they won by 26 points, they've struggled against the other teams that they won, winning by only 7 points. Sabi nga ni Coach Chot kanina, yung ibang teams find the Macau Black Knights as an easy team to beat, and yet they only won by 7 points today. So yun ang dilemma nila ngayon, no? Pagdating sa how to develop that chemistry to be able to take it to the next to the playoff round.
Now, despite the eye-popping numbers, including that 150-point game that Ball had, there were some rumors na baka palitan itong si Ball, which Coach Shot Reyes shot down immediately. The name JaVale McGee was being floated around as a possible replacement. Now, with this recent win against the Black Knights, I'm guessing that idea is out the window now and ball will stay on for the rest of the conference. Ano sa tingin mo, Jay?
It didn't help that the Ronde Hollis Jefferson is also in town right now for yung coaching clinic ni Jola sa Cagayan de Oro, no? But yes, that's correct. No? JaVale McGee was floated, no? But one thing I think we have to understand, I don't think ball is the problem. Okay, a lot of people are expecting the TNT with ball there, but probably should be 9-0 right now. And with ano, kasi bakit? They only average by 4 points sa losses nila. But the thing is, I guess the problem is really trying to build that chemistry and finding that chemistry among with ball and the locals. So if you notice, a part of the game in the Macau game earlier, at the start of the second quarter, they were actually playing better when ball was seated in the bench because they were passing the ball better. Ball is a good passer, no problem about it. No? Kaya lang, problema, pag pinapasa kay Calvin, Oftana, or kay Kim Orin, yung mga yan, hindi nila na-shoot yung sphere. In other words, hindi sila nakaka-score. So somehow, kumbaga ba, until they establish that particular chemistry, that's going to make them really scary. And trust me, if Chotres actually is very good in that regard, he still has 3 more games left in the elimination round. No team would want to play TNT in the playoffs.
For sure. And another interesting bit of news, may bumisita sa ensayo ng TNT. A familiar face, Ronde Hollis Jefferson. There was that picture of RHJ and Bol speaking. What kind of advice do you think RHJ imparted dito kay Bol to hopefully get him to visualize and see the big picture, being that Ronde Hollis Jefferson has led TNT to many championships in the PBA?
My best guess, Anton, siguro, is establishing the leadership that is required from him. Of course, we have to understand, he's only 26 years old, no? So, tapos hindi pa siya ganun ka-vocal. Hindi siya ganun medyo tahimik lang siya, and he does his work silently. But the thing is, the success of TNT with RHJ there is because of RHJ's ability to be able to verbalize and talk to his teammates, no? Yun yung lamang niya eh. So in other words, he can galvanize the entire team together and focus as one, basically, when they play. Si Ball, hindi masyado sa ganun part. Medyo mahihain eh. So siguro baka yun yung pinaka-advice na pwede binibigay ni RHJ kay Ball to establish himself more, to speak more with the team.
Well, I think itong pagdating ni Ronde, who knows what it takes to win a championship in the PBA, was very timely. And hopefully he can put in the right words, push the right buttons para maliwanagan itong si Bol and help TNT get to where they want to go. Now, let's shift gears, Jay, and talk about Converge. May pagbabago dito. And are you surprised by this? Because there was that one interview with head coach Delta Pineda where he was saying it might be too late to change imports, yet here they are. Nagbago ng import with 3 games left. Do you think this is enough to get Converge into the playoffs?
I'll probably be the most surprised because in the pre-conference when we spoke the last time around, sinabi ko pa that Converge might be a finalist in this conference. They struggled a bit. Obviously, alam naman natin, injuries hit them. But yes, that's the problem. I think medyo delayed masyado yung pagpalit kay Karen Kelly. No? Unfortunately, Kelly is a very good player. The problem is he's a role player. He's not an import. He doesn't produce import numbers. No, and his defense, yung defense niya is not how do you say it? It's good in help defense, but it's not good as far as one-on-one defense. So yun yung mga dilemma nila pagdating sa sa defense. And we all know Converge is not really the best defensive team in the PBA. So ano mangyayari ngayon? Now they have to look for somebody who's probably more prolific and better defensively. Donovan Smith coming in may actually help, although I don't know because he last played for Phoenix last year in the Commissioner's Cup, got his numbers 30 and 12. The thing is, Phoenix only won 3 games last year, but with a more solid backup, a local backup, baka magawan ng paraan. But it might be too late. They're still facing NLEX, Phoenix, and Blackwater. So they have to win all 3 of these games and yet hope that the other teams with 3 or 4 losses will continue to lose.
And that's going to be tough because one of those teams that are kind of hanging on the edge are Magnolia and San Miguel.
San Miguel, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be very hard for Converge to try to overtake those teams and sneak into the playoff picture. But any teams that you think like will make it over the hump, like Rain or Shine, NLEX, I know they're at the top right now, but do you think they're legit this time and could make it all the way to the finals, Jay?
Let me just, you mentioned Magnolia and San Miguel. Take note, pag nagkaroon ng tie for 8th place, tie break yan. Problema, natalo ang conversion Magnolia at sa San Miguel din.
Yun lang.
So tanggal na kaagad sila if ever sila makatabla nila. Now, going to your question now, as far as I think Rain or Shine will be there. I don't think that despite they stumbled against Phoenix the last time around, I think they can still go on and win 8 or 9 or maybe 10 games, no? They have a very solid import naman in Jalen Johnson, and the system is there. And as I said the last time around also with you, no, ang magaling sa Rain or Shine is that pagdating sa one game na labanan, Rain or Shine will always be more prepared. Okay, because they normally dominate the tempo of the game and and let the other team adjust to them. The other one is maybe, I'm not sure about NLEX, no, but Robert Bolick has been playing very well. LJ Gonzalez has been playing very well, and Jong Wichito has done an extremely a fantastic job, no. Shawnee Winston's inclusion also has done well for the team, so malaking bagay yon. But in terms of I think Ginebra will be there automatically. I don't see any reason why Ginebra will not be there, especially without even if they struggle a bit against Blackwater, which is doing very well now under Coach Pat Aquino. I think Ginebra will always be a contender. So, yung two teams na yan, ang medyo sigurado ako magsa-semis yan.
Alright, well, exciting times as palapit na nga tayo sa PBA playoffs, and we will be there to tune into the games. Jay, thank you so much once again for joining us on the show.
And thanks, Anton. Good evening.
Good evening. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize, and it all comes down to this: a winner-go-home showdown between two of the UAAP's most storied programs, the University of Santo Tomas and Far Eastern University. Now, UST may have swept FEU in the eliminations, but momentum tells a different story heading into this knockout clash. The Golden Tigresses are coming off a heartbreaking 5-set loss to defending champion National University after blowing a 2-set lead. A missed chance to secure the number 4 seed and crucial rest heading into the playoffs. Now, over on the other side, FEU kept its season live in stunning fashion. The Lady Tamaraws pulled off a reverse sweep against Ateneo, dropping the first 2 sets before storming back to win in 5. One team is looking to recover, the other team is riding a surge of confidence, and now both are back to zero in a do-or-die battle for survival. For USD, this match is about more than just advancing. It's about sustaining a standard. The Golden Tigresses are gunning for their 6th consecutive Final Four appearance. This is a streak that speaks to their consistency, but also adds pressure in a moment like this. Team captain and libero Det Pepito acknowledges the weight of the game, but says the key is to stay loose, to play with joy and trust their system. Because when UST is enjoying the game, they are at their most dangerous. But of course, they cannot afford another late game collapse. Not now. Not in a game that could end their season. Now for FEU, the mission is clear. Stay alive and keep believing. The Lady Tamaraws have had an up and down season, but their resilience has kept them in contention. Coming off that reverse sweep over Ateneo, they entered this match with renewed confidence and momentum on their side. Now, even if the odds are slim, team captain Juris Petalio keeps it simple. Back to 0-0. All heart, all effort. And that mindset makes FEU a serious threat because right now, they have nothing to lose and everything to prove. UST looks to extend its Final Four streak. FEU looks to pull off the upset. One game, one chance. The winner moves on to face Adamson in another do-or-die clash. And the loser will go home. And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again next week on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody, and happy weekend.